Okay, time to remake our Under Wraps intro from however many years ago.
5K dads.
Yeah, now it's woke.
Yeah.
Woke mummy noises. It's gay now.
That's so valid.
Oh, what are you doing?
The original gay anthem, YMCA.
Oh,
I
fun.
put it in Margie's playlist.
Is that a confession?
It's not true. I wish it was.
Well, we can just leave it here and pretend it's true and see if Margie actually listens to the podcast.
hmm
No context given to anyone else about what that means.
Yeah. What a remake.
Welcome, everybody, to the DCOM Duo podcast.
I'm Benji.
I'm
We're the
Kelsey.
DCOM duo. And
Podcast.
we're remaking a DCOM podcast for the
Yeah,
first time.
that's right. We decided our first Under Wraps podcast wasn't good enough.
Yeah, we had some audio issues in that one, so
We're going to reboot
yeah,
and we're going to
doing it again.
recast new people, same names.
Yeah, but instead of watching the same original film, we're gonna watch the more recent version of it.
Under
Yahoo!
Wraps. It has the same name, but we put in a little 2021 there because that's the year it came out.
Yeah, this is the newer Under Wraps, but not the newest Under Wraps because that's Under Wraps 2,
That's
which is
right.
actually Under Wraps.
Well,
Well,
it's
it
two.
is 2.
It
Remakes
is
don't
two.
take a number. Yeah.
No. There is only one Under Wraps 2, but there are two Under Wraps. Yeah, Under Wraps was the very first DCOM that was considered a DCOM.
Disney still considers DCOM. The definitions
Yeah.
are wild and
But as far as we're concerned, that is DCOM number one. And in 2021, they said, we're going to reboot it. We're going to make a new Under Wraps. And not only that, we're going to make a sequel that comes out a year later. But today we're only talking about the first one.
why do you think they made this film? Because,
I don't know.
yes, I have my own little pet theory.
Okay.
Oh, the original Under Wraps, part of the reason, like, they didn't know what a DCOM was going to be yet. It was made by a different production company outside of Disney. That's why they don't have the full rights on it, and that's why it's not on Disney Plus.
Right.
Presumably, that's how most of these things work.
Okay.
And I'm guessing they were annoyed at people when Disney Plus was pretty damn new, because this was like first year of its life cycle was 2020.
Right.
Looking up what's the first DCOM, looking it up, and nothing comes up. So I think they just wanted to solve that issue by making a new one real fast.
Interesting.
It's a bad theory because that's not how anyone should be making business decisions, but that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. I don't know. In my mind, I'm just like, it's cute to redo the first one.
Yeah.
And it's Halloween DCOM. They love those.
It is something where Disney had already stated publicly that Under Wraps was the first one because the other one that often is given credit is Northern Lights, which we also don't consider.
Right.
And that one is very non-DCOM feeling and has like an adult lead.
Mm-hmm.
And the one right after this is You Lucky Dog,
which has an adult
which is
lead.
also not there. This is the first one that feels more like a DCOM Under Wraps, the original.
Yeah.
So I get why they're doing that, but then they don't have the rights to it, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But they can't go back when just like a couple years prior to this movie coming out, they had the 100th DCOM celebration from Adventures in Babysitting.
Right.
So they already publicly claimed what the first DCOM was.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they were like, it's a pretty like good plot to redo though. Like
It's a very basic,
yeah,
timeless plot, but at the same time, it's also just neither of them are a special movie.
no.
They're very much just there.
Yup. Crazy. It's crazier to me that they made a sequel immediately.
That's the other theory I have for why they made it, is someone had the idea for a mummy-themed movie that they wanted to make like a DCOM of. And then they were like, well, I'll do the first one as a remake to like set it up, and then we'll do the sequel.
I mean, we'll have more thoughts on that when we cover Under Wraps. I need to watch Under Wraps 2 again to have thoughts on that. But yeah, today we're talking about Under Wraps 2021. We can get into the factos.
Yes. First, if you have any fan mail for us, please email us at the decomduo@gmail.com.
Yup.
Comment on YouTube. We have none today. Again, we're filming this a bit in advance to fit our schedule. So sorry if you sent something in about the Jenny Project or
Upside down
Upside
magic.
Down Magic. If you did, we'll get to them probably next episode.
Yeah. We're just going on vacation, so we had to stockpile some
Yeah.
episodes.
Right. This movie, Unwraps 2021, released, believe it or not, in 2021.
Oh my
October
god.
1st, 2021, to be
Oh,
clear.
right for spooky season.
Yeah. It is the 111th DCOM.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. This is like one of the last eras of DCOMs. Yeah, he has a sequel in here too, but like right before they started really merging a lot of them with Disney Plus. So it's where everything starts to get a bit more murky, but this is
Mm-hmm.
still definitively a DCOM.
Mm.
The director of this film is Alex Sam.
Yeah.
He also did Under Wraps 2,
Shocker. That's not
and
shocking.
way before, he also did My Dates with the President's Daughter,
Oh.
which is,
Honorary decom.
yes, a very beloved. I haven't actually seen it, but
I watched it as a kid.
it's one of the most commonly considered DCOMs that are not DCOMs.
Right. I don't know why that one's not.
I think it was Wonderful World of Disney on
Okay.
ABC, so it aired on ABC first.
Interesting. And then they just also played it on Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely remembered watching that one as a kid.
Alex Sam also directed A Christmas Prince.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, along with a
Just
bunch
the first one?
just the first one from what I can
Wow.
find. But he's done a lot of other Christmas films. He did A Royal Christmas, Crown for Christmas, Jingle All the Way 2.
Well, I'm sure they're all like the same.
The Jingle All the Way 2, I think, is a very hated Larry the Cable Guy Christmas movie,
Oh
from what
no.
I know. But I don't
Okay.
think they're all the same. But
Okay.
they're all Christmas. He did a lot of direct-to-DVD sequels. He did Inspector
Iconic.
Gadget 2,
Mm-hmm.
Tooth Fairy 2,
Mm-hmm.
Beverly Hills Chihuahua 2.
I watched the Beverly Hills Chihuahua movies as a kid. I think the
Hmm.
first two. I think there was more, but I'm pretty sure I saw the sequel.
Randomly, he is like got nominated at Cannes for the Palme d'Or in 1987 for a short film.
Oh,
So he's got some prestige to him for a guy that's really only known for like made for TV slop,
okay.
which is really funny to
Good
me.
for you.
And he was a main director of The Baxters Amazon Prime show.
Okay.
That's like what he's done more recently. It's like
Sure.
2024, I believe.
Okay.
The cast playing the role of Marshall
Hmm.
is Malachi Barton.
Oh my gosh, little heartthrob, which is crazy because we only know that now because Zombies 4 and we did not know that.
Such a baby.
Yeah, he's so baby in this movie. He was not a heartthrob. He was like 11 in this
Yeah,
movie.
there is a big debate to be had, and I truly think came out through the other side and will now like push for this opinion that he is the DCOM king, and I think it's
Whoa.
pretty indisputable at this point.
Whoa. What?
He is the star, the main character of Under Wraps 1, Under Wraps 2, Zombies 4, he's a part of the main duo.
Hmm.
Zombies 5, he's part of the main duo. He's going to be in Camp Rock 3 in a main role.
Yeah, we don't
First
know
off,
how big that role is.
how many DCOM actors, period, actors or actresses, were in multiple major franchises, period.
The fact that he's in two franchise, like Camp Rock, he's thrown into that one too after being thrown into Zombies. It's crazy. He's not starting any franchises yet. I mean, he was in Under Wraps 1 and 2, but that's not really the same.
Yeah,
But he's being put into these like iconic franchises, Zombies, Camp Rock, like
yeah.
huge. He went on tour for them, like for these franchises, and he's still doing that. It's crazy. He's like the new shining star of Disney Channel right now, at least movies.
They're milking him hard now.
But he's not in any shows yet.
Yeah, he's done a lot of shows, actually.
Just kidding. He's in shows.
Yeah, he's been in the Jenny Ortega's Disney Channel show. It was Stuck in the Middle.
Oh,
He was in the Villains of Valley View. He was in Disney Junior's Fancy Nancy.
okay. Just
All these in
kidding.
main roles. So
Okay, so he's just like all over the place now, which is crazy because I feel like I can't name any other modern star of Disney Channel other than him right now. Because like there's Freya,
and here's
but
the thing,
she's
we're
only
adults.
yeah, that's the thing. But like, I feel like we're aware enough about kind of what's happening on Disney Channel. At least not like obviously we're aware of the movies. I guess we're not really aware of the shows.
Yeah, but basically, the people who get it big on Disney Channel to break big outside of Disney Channel.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
It's
like
really stayed in
yeah.
the
He has. And it's interesting, like, just how much they're utilizing him. But it's what they would have done in the past. Usually it's women, though. It's like girls. And it's cool to see a boy heartthrob, like, who sings and is doing all of
honestly,
this.
Zac Efron had some of that,
But he
but
only did High
he
School
only did
Musical.
High School
He only did High School
Musical.
Musical. And like a lot of those High School Musical actors, it's like they only did High School Musical. There's like Milo Manheim, he did a lot, but now he's breaking out and he's too, like older now, breaking out. So I guess he was like kind of there. But like none of the Descendants guys, like Cameron Boyce maybe, but then he died.
Yeah,
So, but like Boo Boo Stewart only did,
and that's such a
or
female
Descendants.
focused film series,
Exactly.
anyways,
Yeah.
that it's hard to. Disney Channel, I feel like, really reinvested itself as for the girls.
For the girlies.
I think it was around the same time in our era growing up where they were investing Disney XD for the boys, but that was a lot more animation, which is inherently a less of a star bringing
Right. And
material.
is it weird that I feel like Malachi is just also for the girls? Like they're for the girls to crush on a little
I
bit.
know. I would agree. I
Yeah.
think Disney Channel has not stopped leaning in for the girls.
Like the amount of screams at the concert when anytime he was on stage. We were at the Descendant Zombies World Collide tour and oh my God, did the crowd love Malachi Barton.
What's the last DCOM that was quote for the boys? Like maybe Big City Greens the movie, but that's an animated movie.
I mean, under wraps too.
Is it really that like
It's more for the boys
no,
than
I agree. That's like I'm fine calling that for the boys. I'm like, is that really it? Because that was a while ago.
yeah, I wouldn't say Christmas again.
Now Christmas again is for the girls
Prom
more
packs for
than
the
for the boys.
girls. Sleepovers for the girls. Or is that slumber party?
Like you could argue zombies isn't equal, and I could believe that.
I would go more girls, but I think there are boys that like zombies too, yeah.
The last one that I feel like is objectively, and I'm scrolling through here, like the entire list of DCOMs here. Um, the last one I feel like you can objectively say this is a boy movie.
Hmm.
I'm back in 2012 already, and I'm like, is it just Phineas and Ferb the movie?
You're saying that's objectively for the boys and nothing else was?
Take a look at the
Why
list.
wouldn't you count Under Wraps as for the boys?
I'm saying if we were ignoring the Under Wraps franchise, I was saying
Oh,
before this.
before. Okay, hold on.
Like maybe Teen Beach Movie. That's a more boy vibe, but
Mm,
musical generically, Disney always
no,
advertised those as for the girls.
I wouldn't really call that for the boys.
Oh, Let It Shine is definitely I think
That's for
for
the
the boys
boys? Okay.
because
I
that's
guess we
like
would
the
let it
rap side
shine.
of it is
So like 2012.
yeah. But like that's crazy. First off, if we just consider that it was a 9-year gap between quote
Yeah.
for the boys movies.
And this is just our objective,
Yeah,
not objective, subjective opinion.
I just think that's fascinating. And as you mentioned, I think Malachi grew into this like heartthrob role that Disney's willing to keep him marketed as. He's presumably found a really good spot within there. He's also going to be in 2026 Disney Channel show Coven Academy. So he's like still very deep in their ecosystem.
Coven?
Coven Academy, that probably makes more sense.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. He's really staying with Disney right now, which is I don't know, it's interesting to me because we had Freya also come into the zombie. I know we're not talking about zombies for today. We're talking about the wraps. We're talking about Malachi kind of the whole this is our first opportunity we get to talk about Malachi. Like Freya Sky was the same as him going into the zombies franchise. Like he had done other stuff too. But she's not even going on tour with them anymore. I feel like she's gonna do like zombies and that's it.
I would agree on that. And I think part of that is she came in as not an actress in the Disney ecosystem. She got cast into the
Right.
role mainly because she's a good singer
And Malachi's been around for a while.
for a long time.
Yeah. So
So, yeah, I think it's just interesting to see how big he is. And again, my big argument is out of every actor and actress in the world, the only ones I can think that are in multiple, like, multi movie Disney Channel franchises
Hmm.
is Raven Simone and Lucas Raven.
What is Raven?
Raven
I know Cheetah Girls.
and Xenon.
Oh yeah, she was in
And
Xenon.
also you can count Kim Possible, but we don't
Mm.
count Sitch and Time as a DCOM.
Yeah. So and then Lucas Grabeel, of course, in High School Musical and Halloween
Halloween
Town.
Town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Malachi's in 3.
That's crazy.
So
Like movies that had a sequel, yeah, at least. Because like Under Wraps is so weird to be like, that's a franchise, but there was a
there
sequel.
was a sequel.
So, you know,
They really are trying to cash in on him and like were from the beginning. They've pushed him for a long time. It's
yeah.
interesting to see more the end of that phase here.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Playing the role of Gilbert is Christian J. Simon.
Hmm.
He was in the main cast of the Disney Channel show Sydney to the Max, as well as the Disney Junior show Tots.
Okay.
He has a lot of voice acting credits, which I think with the way his voice sounds, I completely understand. Um, Nothing against him physical acting here or anything, but he's just got a voice that's very primed for voice acting. He's
Hmm.
probably best known as being Darwin in every Amazing World of Gumball thing.
That's a big role.
Yeah, like I don't think that's theoretically main cast, but in a lot of
That's
in
his
a
like best
lot of
friend.
projects, he's main cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Playing the role of Amy is Sophia Hammonds.
Hmm.
She's in Freakier Friday.
She's one of the main girls.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, yeah, that is her.
This is like a really interesting cast, I feel.
Yeah.
For normally when we get a 2021 movie or any movie like post-pandemic,
Yeah.
the cast is like, oh, they haven't really done that much.
Right. Well, I
Everyone
mean,
here's got interesting stuff.
we're 5 years out now. At the time, we had no idea who these kids were.
Yeah.
But now, like, they've done so. Like, we know who Malachi is now. Sophia Hammonds did Freakier Friday. Like, that came out last year.
And that's like a starring role. She's one of the
Yeah.
body swap people.
Yeah. Crazy.
She had a main role in the Hulu show Up Here, but otherwise, really not that much else.
Well, her career is just taken off.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a huge credit for Freakier Fridays.
yeah.
Playing the role of Harold the
The
Mummy
mummy.
is Phil Wright. He has basically zero other credits as an actor. It's not maybe that surprising when you're taking
Yeah.
a look at the person that's just acting as the mummy.
He doesn't have any actual dialogue.
They didn't make him the same as Ted this time, which I
Right.
really kind of like that as a symbolic thing in
I
the
liked it
first movie.
too. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. But he's a choreographer by trade.
Okay.
He's done Disney Fam Jam for the Disney Channel. But he
Okay.
also has choreographed for people like Lil Nas X, Will Smith, MC Hammer, TLC, G-Eazy, Cardi B.
Oh, cool.
So, like, some real credits.
Yeah.
Playing the role of Buzzy, the shop curator, is Melanie Brooke. She has very minimal, like, credits overall, but she's still active. She did an episode in 2026 of the show Will Trent. That's
Okay.
her most recent credit, but not too much interesting. Playing the role of Kubat,
The
Mr.
villain.
Kubat, one of the villains,
One of the villains, yeah.
is Brent State, sorry. He's best known for he had like a major recurring role in the show Andromeda. He's had tons of credits since 1986, stuff like Final Destination 5, Tron Legacy, Snowpiercer. Very active, still, including a lot of Christmas films lately. He's turned into a Christmas film guy.
Mm-hmm.
So have a lot of the people here, actually.
Yeah.
One of those people is the Marshall's mom, Diane, played by Jordana Largy. She's been doing stuff since 2008, and a lot of it's been Christmas movies.
Got it.
Playing the role of Ted, soon to be Step Ted, is Jamie M. Calica. He was the dad in Upside Down Magic. I didn't even write that down because he has a minor role there.
That was the last movie
That was
we
the
watched.
last movie we watched.
And we did not recognize him at
Nope.
all. He's in one scene of Upside Down Magic.
Yeah, he's in maybe two. Maybe.
No, literally only one. It's just
so
about
small.
I know this because we just covered
Yeah.
it.
I thought he was maybe in the background, unspeaking of the first transformation.
No, he
Okay.
wasn't. I don't think so. Maybe he like closed the door.
That's
but,
what,
like,
yeah. But like, it's so minor regardless.
I don't even think he was there.
Yeah. He had a
Crazy.
major role on Tyler Perry's Ruthless, and now it's a lot of low-budget Christmas films.
Okay.
Finally, playing the role of Ingrid Ravensworth, the other villain,
Yeah.
is Karen Cunnival. She's one of the main apes in the Planet of the Apes movies, like
Whoa,
the recent
shit.
ones.
Okay.
Yeah, she plays Maurice, who, from my recollection of watching the trilogy, like when they came out,
Mm-hmm.
is the second most important of the ape characters.
Fun. I never
Like
watched
only
it.
behind Caesar, played by Andy Serkis. So
Okay.
very impressive and like major role there.
Yeah.
She's also had major recurring roles in Snowpiercer and The Good Doctor.
I'm a surgeon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's been very active ever since 1986. Still very active today.
Cool.
All right, some fun facts. In at least one press article I could find, Disney considered this to be the first LGBT represented DCOM, as Amy is the child of divorced gay dads.
Hmm. Cowards. They don't consider. I'm trying to think of. Oh, like Ryan, Price Musical. He's gay. Hello. That's
So
actually a good example. But I was like, what example can I say? Oh, like Alley Cat Strike.
yeah,
Hello, cowards. But yeah, this is the first time they're like, yes, gay, gay confirmed.
yeah, we have gay people. They exist. It's funny to me that the choice for that is divorced dads that are
Divorced
off
gay dads
screen.
and Step Dave. But yeah,
It's
they do not have
so
faces.
minimal.
They are off screen the entire movie. They exist though.
Yeah. Very soon after this, they do Christmas Again, which has an
Yeah.
explicit gay couple shown on
Yeah,
screen.
the gay uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's so much better, like more representation than just mentioning it here. And Under Wraps
Yes.
2 goes into a gay marriage.
Yeah. Well, that's her other dad getting married. So it is like still her dad already mentioned, but they at least they get actual on screen time
Mhm.
being gay. Yay. Hooray for gay.
Hooray for gay, but also just don't consider this your representation. I feel like if you want representation, have it be on the screen maybe a
You're
little bit.
for your very first representation, it's kind of sad.
Disney had a whole trend, and it's been widely documented about wanting to get credit for like their first gay role
Yeah, they did
like
a lot.
20 times.
Yeah,
They
they
kept making press
like
releases.
this is the first time. This is the first time, and it's like okay, like yes, it's good to show that like kids have gay dads, and
Yeah.
sometimes the gay dads get divorced too.
Hmm.
That happens, but it's like this is the first time you're actually acknowledging it, and they don't even have faces. Come on. But I mean, obviously, more recent ones we've had like more representation. There's a non-binary character in Zombies 3. Like,
Also, I think Andy Mack was before this.
oh, didn't that have queer
Yeah.
representation? Yeah.
I thought, isn't Andy Mack themselves?
I don't know. I haven't
I
watched
have
it.
also not watched. I'm just vaguely having recollections of this.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe. I know there's something going on. I just never watched it. So,
Yeah. Um, China Anne McClain and her sisters, the band Three,
hmm
they re-recorded "Calling All the Monsters" for this from her Ant Farm hit.
yes.
They
I
also,
did write down that that song played during this movie. I knew what that song was.
yeah, and her brother is also like rapping in it.
Cool. That's cool that they redid it
Yeah.
for this. Yeah. I thought they just recycled it. So it's cool that they actually put an effort and redid it.
At the Halloween party, there was a couple dressed as Addison and Zed.
Oh my god, and then Malachi Barton later is in the Zombies franchise. That's
Hmm.
crazy.
Uncanon, am I right? And then finally, I put down that this released on Disney Plus only a week after Disney Channel. That was the fastest to have that happen at this point. Because
Now
previously it would
it's
take like a month.
back to back days.
Now it's back to back days,
Yeah.
and we'll see how long that even lasts.
What? You
I
think?
mean, I think Disney Channel just might die in the next 10 years.
Oh, that's certainly possible.
And they might switch to like, oh, it's going to release at the same time.
Well, if Disney Channel just dies, then it'll just be Disney Plus
Yeah.
that it releases on. Assuming, yeah,
And then
they'll
this
continue to make
podcast will
releases.
end.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotta end at some point anyway.
Yeah, we're not covering every Disney Plus original film.
No. We're the DCOM duo, not the
The
Disney
T-Pom duo.
DPOM? D
Disney Plus original movie,
DPOM.
D-Pom.
Yeah, that's not us.
Yeah, you can check out our cousins. They do that.
Our cousins?
Our cousins, the D-Pom duo. And there's sometimes the D-Pom trio.
I don't like that infers that we're related and have the same cousins.
Well, no, it's my cousin and your cousin.
Oh, got it. Sick. All right. Are they a couple?
No.
Okay.
You want to hear the The DCOM description.
Yes.
12-year-old friends Marshall, Gilbert, and Amy accidentally revive a mummy they discover in a neighbor's basement. They affectionately name the mummy Harold and must rush to return him to his resting place before midnight on Halloween.
Yeah, except that they also make a movie during that time, but it's a rush.
Uh, Weirdly short compared to other Disney Plus descriptions.
Yeah,
This is also, we don't have an old Disney Plus description to compare to, but it would work for both of them.
for both movies.
Yeah, both the old and the new. So I
Okay.
guess good on you for that. The basic plot structure is identical.
Yes, I mean there are a lot of changes they make in this one, but
They
I
just
think
modernize a bunch of stuff,
yeah, I think
really.
overall it is just like it's modernized and I think it's totally fine as a reboot. They keep all the names the same. And yeah, the basic plot is the same of like there's a mummy, he has a stepdad, he doesn't like or not stepdad, his mom is a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like that, but then at the end he kind of accepts it, which they make a way bigger deal of in the first one compared to this one. This one he's kind of like yeah, I mean they talk about it in this one, but I meant like the moment he accepts him, it was like way more dramatic in the first one. Which is kind of cool in this one. I don't know that he's like, yeah, I got over myself.
Yeah. Should we compare the two movies before we get deep into this?
Maybe,
Which movie do we like better?
maybe we should at the end. Actually,
Okay.
I think we should do that at the end for our final thoughts.
It's just an interesting thing because the whole time I feel like this movie's more consistent. If anyone gets mad about this remake, you're just being over nostalgic for the original one because let
Yeah,
me tell you, that one's got nothing that special to it either.
they feel like pretty distinct to me that I don't even feel the need to compare them that heavily.
Yeah,
So much time passed between these, and they're different enough that it's like, who really cares?
yeah.
I mean, maybe I just don't care enough about Under
The
Wraps,
original
the original or the new one. I don't care enough about either to really
really
care.
care
Yeah, to
about the
care. I don't
differences
care enough
between
to
them.
care. But anyway, let's just talk about the movie. We'll compare later. So, you ready to jump into the movie?
I'm ready to Jet Jackson the movie.
Into the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. All right, intro, spooky horror movie house intro, racing video game, blah, 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 whatever. Ben is told to go to bed. Go to bed, Ben. He's like, no, I saw a monster outside last night. And I think it's like his babysitter.
Yeah, presumably it could be like an older
It could be
sibling.
an older sibling, but she's like, aren't you too old for that? And he's like, no, there's a monster. I'm not going to bed. And she's like, fine, I'll prove to you that there's no monsters out there. So she goes in his room and looks for the monsters. And then the door shuts on its own. And a big green monster breaks through the doors and chases Ben down the hall. And he can't get out the door because it's locked. And then we cut to the movie theater. This is a movie that's being shown in a movie theater. And we see Marshall and Gilbert watching the movie. And Gilbert's really scared. And he runs out of the theater.
Yeah, and starts pumping his inhaler. Um, this is, if we're ever going to draw direct comparisons, which I think we're going to be doing through here, the most unfair comparison like the remake's going to get. The opening scene to Under Wraps is by far the best thing it's got going to it.
Yeah.
The original Under
It's
Wraps,
like actually scary.
like for a movie that you can show to kids,
hmm
that's like one of the best scare moments I can think of, where they have just a knife in the garbage disposal jingling around while
A
a monster
monster.
is trying to shove your head into it.
That's like genuinely terrifying. And it's crazy that that opened up the very first DCOM.
Yeah.
And this one is just like, it's not that scary.
No, it really isn't. It feels, I think part of it's the CGI looks not that great for the
I don't even think it's
Workman,
CGI. I think it was
just a
a
costume.
costume.
Like, regardless, it's just, it looks more silly.
Yeah,
He
it looks
looks
silly.
friend shaped.
Yeah, like that could be my friend.
Yeah.
It's not scary. And Gilbert's a little wimpy baby. So yeah, he's pumping his inhaler. Marshall's like, "What the heck, Gilbert?" And Gilbert's like, "How can you stand movies like that?" And Marshall's like, "Well, I like scary stuff. It's fun."
Kelsey B. Gilbert.
Okay. No, I wouldn't run out of a theater. I'm not like shaking in my boots. Oh, it's so scary. I just genuinely am not interested in horror films. Like, I don't feel interested in being like, supernatural stuff. Like, maybe it would scare me,
Yeah.
but I
And
just
it
don't
is true where
care.
it's something where, like, there are some horror films you really do like.
I like psychological shit, like The Substance, even though that also has body horror. But like crazy kind of like Black Mirror stuff, I'm really into that. So, but I'm not into like cheesy horror like
You don't
this.
like a monster flick.
Right. I don't, yeah.
That's part of the reason you probably don't care for the Under Wraps films. They're inherently monster flicks.
But this is making the monster your friend.
Yes. But they are still inherently monster flicks.
But I like, well, I guess it's not fair. I'm like sexy monster stuff, romance monster stuff. I'm down for that.
Have you seen Shape of Water? I haven't.
No,
That's the sexy monster movie that won Best Picture.
maybe I'd be into it.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Features Paddington's mom.
Oh my God. Okay, anyway, Halloween's on Sunday. He's like, how are you gonna enjoy Halloween if you're scared? And Gilbert's like, I don't need to be scared to have fun. I'm just gonna win the purple-eyed panda.
This is a running through line through the plot that is very minor.
It's weird. He like has a psychedelic vision of this purple-eyed panda that he wants to win at the carnival.
Yeah. Because he got it, won a ring toss to win it, like at a vacation, but it couldn't fit in the suitcase, so they had to leave it.
That is sad.
And he's just been devastated ever since.
Yeah. Anyway, then they leave to get stuff from Marshall's costume. He's gonna dress up as I think it's
Wartman.
Warthead,
It might be Warhead.
Warthead.
I think that's
That's the movie they were watching. And there's a running gag throughout that's like everyone keeps wanting to talk about the ending of
and how
Warhead.
good the ending is.
And Marshall's like,
don't spoil
I
it.
know it's
Someone made me leave the theater.
and I didn't really write those down because I'm like, meh.
It's just a running gag where
Yeah.
everyone's like, yo, it's a good ending.
Yeah. But anyway, they
There's
go
always
to
a running gag in these that we don't need to write down because it's just stuff you fill time with, not essential to the ethos of the movie.
yeah. So they go to a spooky Halloween store and Marshall calls out for Buzzy. Buzzy's like the owner of the store. And she scares them in a werewolf mask. Well, at least Gilbert was scared. She's wearing like a teen wolf kind of costume.
It's like, you blinked, I knew it was you.
Yep. And Marshall asked for green slime for his Warhead costume for, the new movie, blah, blah, blah. This scene
He's
is just,
introducing her as a character.
yeah. Which in the last movie, I think his name was Ralph?
Yeah.
Hold on.
They feminized this character. Woke
They
as
did.
hell.
They did. Oh, Bruce. His name was Bruce. That makes more sense with Buzzy. Bruce and Buzzy. Bruce was just like a middle-aged guy that owned a Halloween store that they would go to, and he helped them in the movie. Now it's Buzzy. So, yay for women, I guess.
But rest in peace, little baby with his blanket.
Yeah, oh my God, Leonard. There's
Leonard.
no Leonard in this movie, and that is a shame. That's a crime. Where's Leonard in the reboot of Under Wraps?
We've been wondering this.
Yeah,
People are asking.
yeah. Just us.
We are people.
That's true. Later, they walk home. Oh, they're like, how long have we been friends? We've been friends forever.
Exposition.
Marshall wants to help Gilbert with his fears of pretty much everything. And he's like, why do you care? And Marshall's like, because the world is awesome and I want you to experience it. We're big world people. So let's play Ding Dong Ditch on Mr. Kubat across the street. By the way, Marshall and Gilbert are neighbors.
They're next door neighbors.
I don't think they were in the original.
I think they weren't next door.
Yeah.
I think they may have still been neighbors. They were definitely like lifelong friends.
Yeah. I don't think they were neighbors. Also, they were already friends with Amy in the first one, weren't they?
I do not remember well enough. You might need to look and figure
I can
out.
skim real quick. Movies.
They didn't change anything too much about the relationship. They did replace Gilbert from one minority to another. They made him black when previously he was ginger.
Right.
So.
But that's the same,
That's
right?
just different representation,
Wasn't there a joke that like ginger people are black? Do you
There's
remember that?
like that?
Yeah. So really, it's the same.
Yeah.
I just skim like, where is Amy? I think they just go to school and Amy's there and they already talked to Amy. I'm pretty sure. And this one they meet Amy and she's like a new kid.
Yeah.
But we haven't even gotten there yet. Anyway, they're like, let's ding dong ditch Kubat's house. And he's like, no way, they call him Killbot. But whatever, Marshall like talks him into it. So they go to the house and he's like, Gilbert, go do it.
Go ding dong ditch him.
Face your
Rude.
fears.
But also,
So he goes up to the house and it's very spooky. And
And as
Gilbert,
he's about to like knock on it, Kubat just comes up behind him.
and he's all grumpy and he says, "Get off my porch!" And Gilbert runs away screaming and runs off with Marshall. By the way, the voice he uses is very like, "Me, I'm Gilbert and I'm afraid of everything." Ah.
Like, I don't know if that's just not his voice.
I thought he was like putting on a voice.
He might be. Again, he's got a good voice for voice acting. And
Yeah.
I think that's why he's found a lot of success doing it.
Yeah. Kubat like growls at them as they run away, like, "Rrr." But he goes inside. And Marshall's like, "See, that wasn't so bad." And Gilbert's like, "Yeah, it was worse. Anyway, you want to come over to my place for dinner?" And Marshall's like, "I can't. I have to eat dinner with my mom and her new boyfriend, Ted."
Oh, I hate Ted so much.
Ugh. At dinner, Ted asks Marshall about like the scary movies he's into, but Marshall isn't very interested in talking with him, so he just kind of brushes him off. And then he asks to be excused and leaves.
The mom at one point says, "Oh yeah, you should see his bedroom. It's like at the Museum of Macabre." And I don't remember that because Beans just kept saying like that's not he was overhyping this room.
Yeah. Um, Ted comforts mom, like, "It's okay, he'll warm up to me, blah, blah, blah." But mom goes up to talk to Marshall, who sits on his bed, and she's like, "Marshall, Ted is a really nice man. He makes me happy. And I think you'd like him if you give him a chance." And Marshall's like, "It's too soon." And mom's like, "It's been 5 years since your dad and I got divorced. I need to move on. We both do." And Marshall's like, "We're doing fine on our own." And she's like, "I still love you more than anyone in the world. You know that, right? I need to keep an open mind about this." And then she leaves. And then Gilbert calls Marshall on their walkie-talkies and tells him to look at Kubat's house because they're moving some like big antique thing that kind of looks like a body, like a dead body.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But also, they're apparently just across the street from Kubat,
Yeah.
which is just so funny. They had this whole exposition drop of who Kubat was,
Yes.
but it was just like they were across the street neighbor.
Yeah, and they had a ding dong ditch his house.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't fake his death in this one.
No, in the first one he fakes his death, which was like a cool plot twist when he was alive. In this one, no, he's just there. He also pulls a gun on them in the first one, so
Yeah, which
they
I
didn't want
get
to
why
die.
they don't do in this one.
Yeah.
The first one was unhinged. They had a suicide joke in the first one,
What was that?
talking about cutting yourself.
Oh my god.
She's like, uh, I think Amy at one point says it. She's like, "Oh, if I have to do that, I'm gonna slit my wrist."
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah, that one was wild. She also said like I sleep in the nude. Just like crazy
There's
stuff for
a
a
lot of
decom.
stuff, which again, we didn't know what a decom was at that point.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's why they're like, let's just redo it.
Yeah.
Gilbert thinks Kubat's up to something scary, but Marshall's like, whatever. Then they go to the history museum, the Natural History Museum, on a field trip. And they're there for Egyptian history class, which is apparently a whole class for Egyptian history.
Middle schoolers.
Yeah.
If this was a unit, I would be so okay saying this was a thing.
Yeah. But it's
But
a whole class?
Question mark?
Yeah.
How are you getting a whole class worth of this and staying on topic?
How do you have a whole, like, semester's worth of stuff? I mean, I guess there's a lot to say for Egyptian history.
I mean, yeah, Egyptian history, it's something where if this was a college, I would solely believe there being
Oh,
Egyptian
yeah.
history class.
For sure.
But for middle school?
That's crazy.
What are you going to get into?
Yeah. So they need to pair up in buddies. I don't know why, because they all just kind of walk together anyway. But pair up, guys. And Amy is there, and she's like, "There's no one else to buddy up with." So the teacher's like, "Oh, Marshall, Gilbert, you guys go with Amy." And there's awkward silence at first as they stand around. And they go, "So you're the new girl?" And she's like, "Yep, I'm Amy. I moved here from Rockport with my dad and step-Dave this past summer." And they're like, "What?"
Yeah, she's like, I got a dad, and I got another. I have two dads. Look at that, Kelly.
Dad Kelly. She says, "My two dads split up a few years ago. Pop lives back in Rockport, and Dad married Step Dave. Anyway, hi." Hi.
Hi.
"So how do you like it here?" And she says, "I hate it. This place is boring. I'm going to be an investigative journalist one day, and there's like no stories here."
Yeah. Presumably, she's not that new from the way they're talking about it. She probably moved at the start of the school year.
Which was like a month ago.
Yeah. This is about to be Halloween.
Exactly.
So, I kind of get she has some ability to say there's no stories here, but like, you still barely been here, girl.
Yeah. And she says, Dad and Step Dave said if I don't like it here, I can move back. So next summer, I'm out of here. And then they start talking about horror movies, and Amy and Marshall are like, oh my god, I love horror movies.
Gilbert's like, what the hell?
Yeah, and then
Notably, Gilbert doesn't get really jealous of this friendship that these two are bonding over something separate.
you're setting stuff up for this.
I'm setting something up for the sequel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that. I will forget to unpin it.
Pin.
But put a pin in that.
And then Todd comes over, which was a character in the first one. I looked back at my notes, and Todd, as far as my notes go, he just kind of like asks Amy out, and she's like, no.
He's just the other boy. To be like a little bit of a conflict driver.
I don't even know if he was in the movie beyond that. Like in this movie, he's a bully.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like not even much of a bully.
No. So Todd comes over and takes Marshall's snacks. What the heck? He has like some candy. And Amy goes over and says, like, hi, Todd, just want to see if you're feeling okay. Because, like, there was research done about the, like, sugar substitute in the candy that's going to make him, like, shit himself, basically. And so Todd runs off.
Yeah, Todd buys it hook, line, and sinker, and Marshall gets his candy back.
Yep.
Marshall's not worried about shitting himself.
No, because it was a lie.
Yeah.
Well, she says you have to, like, build up a tolerance to it.
Yeah.
So that can make him believe that, like, Marshall has a tolerance to it, but Todd doesn't. So then they go and look at the exhibits, and they see a sarcophagus. A sarcophagus that holds a coffin with a mummy. And they even get to see a real mummy that is not protected by any kind of glass or rope or anything. It's literally just sitting there for anybody to touch.
You can just touch this decaying human body.
Yeah, that's smart. And there's like, is there even security here? No. Where's security?
I mean, they were able to break into this in the end of the movie very easily, so maybe they're setting that up for us to believe it more.
That's true. And the mummy we learned was Princess.
She's a princess?
Todd asks if it comes to life and eats brains. He's like, does it come to life and eats brains? And then fist pumps his friend.
Yeah. Todd's role for the rest of the movie is like 4 more lines, where all it is he says something stupid and fist bumps his lackey.
Yeah.
His lackey never talks.
No. Amy's like, shouldn't there be another mummy next to it? And the lady's like, yes, there was another one. He was a high priest, and they were in love, but their families were bitter rivals. And the teacher like clutches her pearls. They wanted to be together in death because they couldn't be together in life. Sadly, it didn't last, though. In 1925, the tomb was raided, and we are finally going to reunite them today in this exhibit.
Museum that doesn't seem that big, but that has we see for later on, that has this exhibit for a total of 1 month.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, you know, maybe that is possible.
And it's cool that, like, they're finally reunited, but then the high priest mummy mysteriously disappeared on its way here. So, I guess not. And I'm like, I feel like they should be more panicked about this.
They should be, but maybe it's not her job to be panicked. She's just an instructor.
She's just like a tour guide.
And they're like, maybe that's why it's such haphazard security on it right now, being none. Because they like are all of their workers are trying to figure out the stolen mummy. But they can probably protect their assets.
I'm surprised they didn't like shut down the museum for tourists or not put up the exhibit at all, but they did put up the exhibit.
Let me tell you, Kuba could go steal this mummy too if he wanted.
He really easily could. But yeah, in the first one, they didn't have it spelled out like this about them being in love. It was something that the kids like figured out on the way.
Yeah. Which I don't mind it actually being spelled out in this one. But the fact that in the first one it felt ham-fisted because it wasn't spelled out at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they're in love? Okay, I do not care.
Right. Yeah.
You're allowed to cock block a commercial.
Alright, school time. Marshall and Gilbert talk.
Yeah, this is presumably post-field trip because it's the same day.
Yeah.
They're wearing the same clothes.
I thought it was a different day.
No, they're wearing the same clothes.
Okay, weird. But also, before they leave the museum, they take, like, a picture in the extra coffin. This is important later. They're like,
they go, Mommy!
So Marshall and Gilbert are talking, like, a couple lockers down from Amy. And Marshall's like, I can't figure her out. She seems cool, but why is she so down on Walgrove? You know, our town of Walgrove.
Famous Walgrove was their famous natural history museum.
Gilbert's like, I mean, it probably stinks being away from all your friends. And they're like, well, maybe we should see if she wants to hang out with us sometime. And Amy comes up and is like, thanks. By the way, I could literally hear everything you were saying. And so Marshall says, so how did you know what an esophagus was? And she says, you mean sarcophagus? I'm a reporter, so I need to know a little about a lot of things.
Shut up. It's also
She's an
sarcophagus is a known thing.
It
You just
is.
be like, I'm a horror movie fan. You know this. You should know what a
No.
sarcophagus
Have you
is.
ever watched a mummy movie?
It's like out of Egyptian words people know. It's like gotta be top five.
They're taking an Egyptian history class.
Yeah. Maybe pay attention once. Read a book.
Read a book for once. Um, anyway, Marshall's like, well, you should investigate our neighbor. Last time he was moving like a body in the middle of the night. And Amy says, there's only so many things shaped like a body, bodies being at the top of the list. I think you found the stolen mummy, and I found my story.
Like, this is very presumptuous of her.
It is.
All they said, literally all they said is, oh, our neighbor was doing something suspicious with something that vaguely looked like a human body.
Well, what else is shaped like a body? Bodies are at the top of that list.
I don't know, like mannequins.
Wrapped in cloth?
Yeah.
No.
I guess you're right. It had to be the stolen mummy.
Well, it is.
Yeah, I'm mad that it just works. If she's like,
It's
oh, that
okay.
could be interesting. That could be the mummy. Let's investigate. I'd be okay with that.
She did say, I think you found the stolen mummy. She doesn't know
She really acts like she knows, though.
because she's Amy. She's confident about everything. She's an investigative reporter.
Yeah, she is Pulitzer Prize winning, so
That's
I
right.
should be. I'm not worthy.
Later, they go look at Kubat's house, and Amy wants to get closer, and they're like, no. And she's like, what, are you guys scared? Let's just meet back here at 8, and we'll look in the windows. Okay, bye. And the boys are like, dang, okay. She's like, really?
Gilbert's like, yeah, she's really good at talking. Or no, Marshall's really good at talking into things. It was the exact thing Gilbert said like 10 minutes prior about Marshall.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, tell me about it. So that night they go back to the house and his car isn't there and the lights are out. So they're like, okay, we're pretty sure he's not home. So they go to the basement window and Amy just breaks in.
Amy has no impulse control.
Yeah. So in the original, he was like supposedly dead and she got a key to the house because her mom was a realtor. And that all made sense.
That all makes way more sense.
This one, she's like, let's just break into this guy's house.
Yeah.
Crazy work.
Yeah, why couldn't her step Dave be a realtor?
Yeah, Step Dave. Come on. But they all just go into his basement, like, what the fuck? And Gilbert's scared and is like, I'm gonna stay by the window. I'm like, okay. So Marshall and Amy go look around, and there's like a ton of stuff down there, super old antique stuff. And Gilbert finds the sarcophagus. And he goes, I wonder what's inside. So he just opens it.
This is the most unhinged thing of the entire movie. There's a lot of unhinged stuff that happened in this movie. This is the most unhinged.
The fact that it's Gilbert doing it when he's scared of everything,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm just gonna open this sarcophagus.
And he's like, oh, it's heavy. And he sets it on the wall, looks over and goes, like, it's honestly pretty comedic.
Yeah, a mummy. Oh, what's that necklace? It's
And he
shiny.
touches the amulet.
And the mummy falls on top of him.
I don't know how that happens because he barely touches the necklace. The mummy's leaning back, and then suddenly it falls forward on him.
He's a dumbass.
Maybe Gilbert's just strong as hell.
Yeah. But the moonlight hits the pendant through the window, and the mummy starts to move. By the way, Gilbert got out from under him.
And he ran away.
Yeah. So the mummy hits the moonlight and starts to move, dancing in the moonlight. Gilbert tells the others that he found the stolen mummy. And they go, how do you know it's the stolen one?
Marshall says, how do you know it's the stolen one? Which is a line I really like in here.
How many other mummies do you think there are in this town? But the mummy's gone.
Yeah, it takes him to where he kind of just like it's there, and they're like, you're tripping, Gilbert.
Like it walked away, and then they hear a groan, and they go, oh my god, what is that? Oh my god, it's a mummy coming right at them. Ah! They scream and run away. And the mummy follows after them. So they run up the stairs and shut the door. But the mummy busts through the door and breaks it.
Just punching through everything.
Yeah.
The mummy's strong as hell. Why? Mummy's strong.
No, it's the magic that brought him back.
Yeah.
Gotta make them strong. What, are they gonna be frail?
That would make sense.
Well, then they couldn't really get around.
And they wouldn't be terrifying.
Right. So the kids hide and the noises stop. Just kidding. He busts through the walls. And then he hands the flashlight back.
Yeah. the mummy has them cornered, but he just hands them the flashlight that
Yeah.
Marshall dropped.
And he's like, thank you.
He's like, I don't want to grab that. He's like, well, you don't want to offend him.
Yeah. Um, so it's like they're like, how is it moving? It came back to life, but why isn't the princess awake? They're like, let's deal with this on a mummy by mummy basis, okay? Amy wants to touch it. She's like, it's probably nice. And they're like, what the hell are you doing? But then she like pets his hand and he pets her hand back. And they're like, this must be weird for him. He's like a time traveler.
Which is true. He hasn't seen life in 4,000 years.
Yeah. And then Kubat pulls up, so they run out, leaving the mummy behind.
And they're just thinking to themselves, like, this is not
This
good.
is crazy. Kubat and some other guys come in and see the hole in the door,
And they
and they're
start asking, and they're like, uh-oh, we've been hit.
we've been hit, and the kids run off. And the guys see the mummy's gone. And they just think like someone stole it and left the coffin behind,
Yeah.
I
I feel like
guess.
it'd be easier to transport in the coffin. But you know what? Maybe they needed to see that it was there, and
Oh.
there are going to be reasons. I can believe it.
Outside, Amy wishes she had pictures of it. But then the mummy just comes out and follows them. And they're like, no, go back.
Well, I think you missed the reason of her saying she wishes she got pics. It was to mention that none of the kids have phones. Because
Oh,
she's like, if my dad would have let me have a phone by now, I could get a
yeah,
picture.
true.
And so that they can establish not having phones, basically.
Yeah. So they're like, no, go back. And then they're like, wait, we can't let him go back to Kubat's. Someone needs to keep him for the night.
And now we get stupid mummy shenanigans. There's a lot less of the stupid mummy
Thank God
shenanigans.
for that,
There
too.
needed to be less. I do wish there was like one scene more in this movie of mummy shenanigans because it feels weirdly lacking when that's kind of the point of the movie.
But it was so much
It
in the
was
first.
way too much in the original,
Yeah.
especially they had like a 6 minute scene that was only mummy stuff.
Yeah.
This one, that scene's like 1 minute long,
Right,
and it
right, right.
actually is decent comedic wise.
Yeah.
Uh, this one, like, the mummy feels so unimportant to this movie, being a mummy compared to just being a MacGuffin.
Yeah, actually. They
And
did a
that's
lot
where,
more like silly mummy gags in the first one
yeah.
compared to this one. Yeah. But anyway, they're like, whose house is he gonna stay at? And they both look at Marshall. And Marshall's like, what the hell? Like
Gilbert's like, your house is right here.
he's like, your house is right there too. Our houses are next to each other. And Gilbert's like, well, yours is technically closer. So
Bye.
bye.
And then he just has to hide this mummy, and everyone, like, why don't they go help him hide the
They
mummy?
said,
I
not
don't
our
know.
problem. So Marshall sneaks him in the house. Mom and Ted are watching a mummy movie. How topical is that? Shenanigans happen where Marshall has to hide the mummy, yada yada yada. But he takes him up to the room. Um, the mummy is scared of the mask, of the warhead mask, but
You know,
says, don't worry, this is Warhead, the greatest monster of all time.
good for you, maybe.
And the mummy starts touching everything and tries to eat a sock. And there's even a little mummy action figure. And Marshall's like, okay, stop wrecking my room. And then mom comes up and gives Marshall pizza and hot sauce because you can't have pizza without hot sauce. I've never heard of anyone putting
I
hot sauce
have
on
heard
pizza.
of this.
Really?
This is not a thing. It's not a
Okay.
crazy common thing,
There's
but it is a thing.
all those hot sauce freaks out there.
Yeah.
Like Aqua from Cheetah Girls.
I mean, there's people who love hot sauce on everything. Like Tabasco on pizza is not that uncommon.
Okay, okay. Marshall's all nervous and tries to make her leave. So and then she does. And then Marshall feeds the mummy some pizza. But he's like, the best part is the hot sauce. And oh my God, does this mummy love hot sauce?
He goes crazy for the hot sauce, just chugging it straight out of the bottle.
Uh-huh.
Probably because he doesn't really have taste buds anymore, so this is the only thing that gives him the experience of tasting.
Maybe,
That's
yeah.
my take.
I don't think that was a thing in the first one. Was it?
I
I don't
don't
think
think
so.
so.
I don't think so.
We could look at our notes and figure that out,
I'll
but
just do a quick search for hot sauce in my old notes.
mhm,
No mention of hot sauce in the last movie, so new thing they invented for this one.
which is fine.
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
it honestly they could have wrote the bit harder.
Yeah,
It feels. I wonder if they did cut some mummy shenanigans from this movie
maybe.
because it feels like we at the end of the movie are supposed to be more endeared to the mummy,
Yeah, meh.
but it's fine.
Marshall's like, wow, the only guy who liked hot sauce that much was my grandpa Harold. Maybe I could call you Harold. I gotta call you something. And he's like, I'm Marshall, you're Harold. And the mummy's like,
Oh
Marshall.
no!
Horrible.
Horrible.
Close enough. Lights out, time for bed. And Harold sleeps on the floor with his arms crossed, and Marshall also crossed his arms, which I thought was cute. But then Harold snores.
I think Marshall looks down and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try sleeping like that."
Yeah, it's cute. The next morning, there's like, this was so weird until I understood why it was put in the movie, but like, there's like this Alexa device. It's like a home AI little
It's just like there's a
box.
song in the middle playing, and then the mom turns it off by an
She says,
Alexa-like
yeah,
device.
she says, Terry, turn the music off. And it goes, music turning off, boop, whatever. And we're like, what is going on? But it makes sense
It's
in
setting up for
later.
a bit in
Yeah.
like 5 minutes.
Which I guess they had to establish that this was the thing
Yeah.
first, which it makes sense. But anyway, Marshall's leaving for school, and he tells Harold to stay in his room, and and they meets up with his friends. And he's like, "Yeah, Harold's pretty cool, actually. Oh, by the way, I named him Harold.
We're all like, okay.
Like, we should return him to the museum." And they're like, "Museums for dead mummies, not live ones." I feel like they would still have a better idea what to do, though.
They're already worried about like tests on him though.
That's true. Gilbert also mentions that he lost his inhaler, so that'll come up later. Harold walks around the house and is spooked by his reflection in the mirror, and then realizes this is just him. So he does more shenanigans in the mirror. Ha ha. So funny. He's a mummy who doesn't know what a mirror is.
Mirrors are very confusing if you've never seen a mirror before.
True. In class, the Egyptian history teacher tells them all that they have to team up for a group project and they just have to like make something. It could be like an art project, like a sculpture, or basically whatever they want. Outfits, I don't know. And Marshall's like, could it be a movie? She's like, yes, it can. So he's like, Gilbert and Amy and I are gonna make a movie.
He's just announcing this all over the crowd.
And
And okay.
Gilbert and Amy are like, what the heck? You didn't even ask us.
So I was like, can I bring in my mom's Egyptian veggies?
Fist bump.
Fist bump.
But anyway, Marshall's like, we're gonna make a mummy movie with a real mummy.
Doesn't seem the most historically accurate, but whatever. I would give it a point for effort and spirit.
I think this assignment's very loose.
Yeah.
So they just have to be engaged with Egyptian history, basically.
Which is probably a more accurate and effective way of teaching than forcing it to be about specificality.
Yeah. So then we get all these mummy shenanigans that Benji's just been itching for.
I've been dying for some mummy.
Harold walks around the house, he knocks over cereal and looks at a honey container, and then he squirts honey out and eats it, and it's nom nom. And then he grabs the sticky remote and accidentally turns on the news. And oh, here we go. The news actor says, back to you, Terry, which triggers the device and freaks Harold out. Ha ha.
And
And
it goes, "Rrr." And it's like, you want to order 13 bags of birdseed? Well, 14 bags of birdseed. Place and purchase.
yup. Then Harold can't get the remote off his hand. Ah ha ha. And then it sticks to the ceiling. And I'm like, honey is not that sticky.
No, and this stays here until the end of the movie.
Yes.
Which, yeah, honey is not that sticky. This is super glue honey.
And then he turns on the Roomba and gets chased by it around the house. And then he runs out of the house.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
Haha.
Back in school, class is about to be over. And Marshall's like itching for class to be over. He's like, oh my God, I need to get out of here. And teacher's like, okay, bye everyone. Enjoy Halloween. Your assignments are due on Wednesday.
Not a lot of time to make this movie.
No. And the kids get back home and see that the door is open. And they're like, oh no, Harold! Harold, where are you?
Harold!
And so
Harold!
we see Harold walking down the street, and people just think he's in costume because it's like Halloween tomorrow.
Yeah. So it's just not that weird.
Yeah. I love the wiener dog in the lobster outfit, by the way, walking down the street. And
She is the legend, she is the moment.
yes. Harold sees an ad for the museum and his princess girlfriend on the bus. It says True Love. And he's like, oh. And then his wrapping gets caught on the bus and he's dragged through the streets by the bus. And the kids are like, what should we do? And they see the remote on the ceiling and then they're like, oh, we have to get out of here. And then they see Kubots outside. Whoa, oh no. And he's like, something happened last night. There was a break-in in my house. Did you see anything? And they're like, no, bye. So, okay.
Okay.
Harold is still being dragged by the bus, and the kids are on the street calling for him, Harold! And then the wrapping finally breaks, and guess where he ended up?
Oh my God, it's the museum.
He miraculously ended up right in front of the museum.
Somehow the wrapping didn't break, and also no one stopped the bus that had like something that shouldn't be dragging. Even if you assume just a prop, it shouldn't be dragging like that.
No,
And
that's
no one
pretty
stopped the
dangerous.
bus, including the bus driver. Take their license away. I don't want them driving.
The kids are like, oh, he's probably going to go to the museum, and we are also right by the museum.
There's a lot of convenience in this plot.
Yeah. So they go into the museum and find him with his girlfriend, and it's like, oh.
Normally, there's still people at this museum. No one's weirded out.
There's just a guy dressed, what they think, a guy dressed as a mummy, like caressing a real mummy that's not guarded off at all.
You know what? And this is the place Amy says nothing happens in.
Yeah, she was wrong. So Harold tries to tell them that he loves her and they have the same amulet. And they're like, maybe the amulet's like an engagement ring. Aw, come on, Harold, we have to go. It's not safe here. I get you want to be with her, but not now. If anyone figures out what you are, they're gonna do tests on you. H2O just add water be like. So they're like, okay, we gotta get you out of here. And finally, a security guard is like, don't touch the exhibit.
Took you long enough.
Yeah. What's with the costume? And they're like, think of it like a cosplay. He's just dressed like a mummy
It's spirit.
for fun.
Yeah.
So the kids need advice of how to keep him away from his girlfriend. I guess they're like, how are we gonna keep him away? What do we do? And they're like, let's go talk to Buzzy because she likes spooky stuff. So they go to Buzzy and she doesn't believe them at first.
Like, that's ain't a mummy.
And she's like, if this was a mummy, he wouldn't have a pulse. Now would he? And then she feels for a pulse and he doesn't have one. So she freaks out with excitement. She's like, oh my god, it's a real mummy. That's crazy.
Pretty easy to convince after not saying, I'm not going to be
I mean,
convinced.
he doesn't have a pulse.
Yeah, but there could be another reason. His arm could just be dead.
What?
It could be a prop arm.
I
It could
think
be a
she.
fake
I
arm.
think you. I think
Like
she
just a
ruled that
prosthetic.
out. I think she ruled that out.
Okay, well, I didn't.
Okay.
I'm not proof. I think it's an actor.
Okay. Okay. Marshall's like, we need to keep this a secret, and Buzzy's like, if they stole him, but now they're trying to keep him away from the guys who. Oh, she asked them. She's like, did you guys steal him? And they're like, no, we're trying to keep him away from the guys who did steal him, and we have to get him back. And she's like, maybe the amulet has something to do with it. And then they see Harold dancing to the TV. It's kind of like a spooky, scary skeleton song.
I
But
feel like it's pretty specifically trying to be a reference to spooky, scary skeletons without being spooky, scary skeletons.
yeah,
It's just like weird Halloween music.
yeah. And then Buzzy wants to see the amulet, and Harold freaks out, but then they calm down. And then Buzzy looks at the back, and there's an inscription. So she's like, okay, it's going to take a while to figure out what this says. So she takes a photo. She's like, I'll get back to you guys. Cool. Okay. So when we first watched this movie back in 2021, there was one thing that we were like,
The only thing we truly remembered from this movie.
we're like, the evil lady ate octopus. At this point in the movie, when we were watching it last night, I go, is this the one where she eats the octopus or is that the second one? And you go, no, it's this one. And then the scene literally, it's this scene right now.
Yeah.
Like, my question came at the perfect time. We see an evil woman and she's about to eat an octopus.
Yeah, this is Miss Ravensworth.
Yes, Miss Ravensworth. Kubat comes in and he's like, you wanted to see me? And she's like, how does one misplace a mummy? What, did it get up and walk off? You have 48 hours to get it back, or I want full repayment. And also, you're going to pay a penalty. So we learned that she was like paying Kubat for this mummy, I guess. I don't know. And then he is shown out the door, and she looks all evil, sinister, and then eats her octopus very like
She like
seductively.
throats it,
She like she eats this octopus tentacle.
and she like one bites it in a weird way.
Why? It's like she starts to just take a little bite, but I don't think she could bite all the way through because octopus is pretty tough. So she just like puts the whole thing in her.
Or the prop at least.
Yeah. Why is she eating an octopus?
She just to show she's evil.
She's evil.
Yeah, I mean it stands out as a villain introduction scene. It's something we remember.
That's true.
It's a good scene for this small scene that it needs to be.
If you ever eat an octopus, you're evil,
Yeah,
as we all know.
as is known.
So then the next day, the kids are getting ready to make their movie, which this is such like a weird part of the movie to me where we just kind of detour for them to make a little film, which is fun, but like, why was this included?
This is the mummy shenanigans.
Yeah, instead of other mummy shenanigans, it's the kid. Like, I'm kind of glad the kids are more involved actually,
Mhm.
because in the first one, he just kept running off
Yeah,
and doing shenanigans. But this one, like, the kids are having fun with him. Which,
it makes you buy the friendship angle they went
yeah,
for a bit more.
they care about Harold, you know?
Yeah,
So Marshall's like, I wrote a script for us, and the mom and Ted come in, and they're like, who's this mummy? And they're like, oh, that's Harold. He's from school. And they're like, he's a sixth grader? And like, oh, he should be a ninth, but he was held back. Ha ha. And
uh,
the parents are like, oh, well, here's costumes for you. Ted was able to get them.
yeah. They have him in storage at that job,
Yeah.
and yeah, Marshall's like, oh my god, he's so annoying.
Yeah. And Amy's like, oh, yeah, so annoying. He got us costumes for our movie. What's your problem?
Amy is so direct.
Yeah. And he's like, he's just so, so Ted. Is it that he's so Ted or that you don't want anyone to be with your mom? And Marshall's like, no. And Amy's like, listen, when my dad got remarried, I didn't talk to Step Dave for like 6 months. And then one day I realized he makes him happy and laugh. So maybe I was wrong about him. And now we're close. So maybe you should give Ted a chance. And Marshall's just kind of like, meh. And Amy's like, but whatever, it's none of my business. So good on Amy for kind of telling Marshall because he needs to hear it, you know? Like, your mom deserves to be happy, and Ted is like a nice guy.
But she also is like clocking so much about his relationship after they've known each other for like 48 hours.
Yeah. Well, she's a parent or a child of
Yep.
divorced gay dads, so she knows the dynamics. You know?
Yeah.
All right, movie time. They film their little scenes. Honestly, the production value of their little movie is really good for like,
For a student film, you can tell Marshall has a passion for movies.
and he like set this up in
I
a
feel like this
day.
shows a lot more about his character than
Yeah,
anything you get in like the first movie.
yeah. The set design is really cute.
Mm.
Like, it looks like an old tomb that they like go into and stuff. It's really good. And Marshall gives Harold directing notes. He's like, you need to be more fierce, Harold. But Harold's just so nice. And there's lots of bloopers of Harold being too nice until they finally get a shot of him going, "Roar," and being scary. And then Mom tells Marshall that Buzzy's on the phone. Whoa, she must be ready with the like translation. Cool. So they go and see Buzzy. She talks about how hard it was to decipher the message.
Yeah, these aren't normal hieroglyphs. These are special.
The amulet is like a 3-day pass to the living, and it's activated by moonlight. And they're like, yeah, that checks out. And she says the amulet will raise the dead for 3 days. They will live instead, but in their coffin, they must be blah blah blah. I didn't write all this down, but if they don't get in their coffin by midnight on the third day, they'll be doomed for all eternity.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that this all rhymes
Yeah.
in English.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. I think she just kind of wrote it so that it rhymes for flair. I think Buzzy did that.
She's
But
gotta be crazy like
yeah.
that.
It's like, what does it mean to be doomed for eternity? And she's like, they're gonna turn to dust. Oh, well, that's tomorrow, midnight of Halloween. Marshall's like, but he's our friend.
How many times does like a Halloween themed movie coincidentally have something important happen at midnight on Halloween?
I mean, you say the same thing about Christmas.
Yeah. Like, why couldn't it be, oh no, midnight on October 24th?
Halloween's in like a week.
Like, it's still spooky season.
It is. Yeah, that would be funny. Let's make a movie that's like centered around October 24th specifically.
Just call it October 24th.
Yeah.
Release date October 17th. You gotta be able to make it in.
Yeah. They're like, we have to do what's best for Harold, even if it's not what we want, because we want Harold to stay here forever because he's our friend. But we have to give him back or he's going to turn to dust. And they're like, okay, yeah, we have to get him back. Marshall
Friends
is
have each other's back.
Marshall is just like a little bit like I kind of want to keep it. They don't like ham fist it too hard. It's way more in the second one.
Movie that becomes like way more of a plot.
Yeah, because it's really quick this time. He's like, okay, yeah, we have to get him back. Like we have to do the right thing. Okay. So then the kids that night plan to get Harold back in his coffin and then call the museum on Kubat. And they're like, are we sure he's not home? And they're like, yeah, for sure. And then just kidding, he's home. And they see him moving the coffin and they're like, oh no, we need the coffin for Harold. And gasp, on the ground is the inhaler, but no one sees it yet. And the kids see the truck get loaded up with a coffin. And it's like a blue truck with a penguin on it.
Yeah. This is almost important.
And then it is important.
It
That's
is
how they
important, but it's more like it. Yeah.
and they hear him say, take it to the plant. And then the truck leaves. And Harold is sad. But the kids say, don't worry, we'll get it back somehow. And then Kubat goes in his basement and finds Gilbert's inhaler. And it has Gilbert's name on it. And he's like,
Got him now, boys.
So next day, it's Halloween! Hooray! They go to Gilbert's clubhouse.
Just a shed in the backyard.
And it's labeled Gilbert's Clubhouse.
Really easy to find.
And he brings them snacks. And he's like, don't worry, Harold, I got you your hot sauce. Yeah, there's a lot less
There's a
mummy
lot less
noises.
weird, which was your main complaint in the first movie.
Yeah. So many mummy shenanigans and so many mummy noises. And there are still mummy noises in this one, but it's
But
toned
it's
down.
much more toned down.
Yes.
Like, I want one more scene of mummy shenanigans. And
Mhm.
maybe, again, like, another one with the kids doing it would be fine. It's like, them filming the movie was fun. Them being
Yeah.
like, oh, you're actually did that take correctly, Harold.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find the plant, but they don't know what it is. Maybe a factory or a warehouse. And what was with the penguin? And then, oh my God, there's a knock on the door. It's Kubat. Oh my God. He has the inhaler. He figured out where he lived. And he's like, I know you guys have the mummy. And Gilbert's like, I know of an escape route. And it's literally an escape hatch that says like Gilbert's escape route.
It's just the
Like,
the shed.
of course you know about it. This is your clubhouse, Gilbert. The hell? So he's like, okay, we should all escape and distract the goons while like Harold stays in here. So they all leave. But then they get trapped immediately by the bad guys. And they say, tell us where the mummy is. And they're like, if we tell you, you'll leave us alone? And they go, yeah. And Marshall's like, he's right behind you. And then Harold comes charging at them. And he's so strong that he just beats them up like really bad. He really fucks them up.
It's really like, especially later on in this movie, we're going to see these same two goons beat up Harold.
You mean Harold beat them up?
No, I mean the goons get like, I mean more himself.
They get
Sneak
him.
up
They
on
capture
take
him.
down.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. The power scaling in this movie is all wrong because Harold just clears everyone every time easily.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, they're stupid.
So they go, come on, Harold. And they all run away. And the goons are like, what was that? Kubat's like, I thought the reanimation was just superstition. Oh, well, my price point just went up.
Yeah, imagine being a mummy thief and then you find out your mummy's alive. You're like, hey, I'm making bang.
I'm going to make more money on this. So then the kids run away. They're like, we need to hide. And they run into Ted, who's dressed as a bunny, a hollow Easter bunny.
Not a good costume.
It's not really. And they're like, oh, what are you guys up to? And they're like, oh, we're just filming extra scenes. Haha. Oh, we're gonna go to the carnival. And then Amy's like, oh, Ted, you grew up here, right? Do you know about like a blue truck with a penguin on it? And he's like, oh yeah, that was an old ice cream company. There's a factory that's closed down. And Amy's like, okay, cool, bye. And she goes up to Marshall and is like, he's a nice guy. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh my god. He's gonna save the day eventually. It's what I would say if in this very next scene is not him ruining the day.
Literally.
Both of which he's doing unknowingly, so.
Yeah, so the mom answers the door to Kubat and he's like, does Marshall want a job doing yard work? And she's like, oh, sorry, he's not here. And then Ted shows up with the extra candy, and she's like, oh, hey, Kubat's here offering Marshall a job. And Ted's like, oh, yeah, I just saw him. They're going to the carnival. Maybe don't dox your children to this strange man neighbor. I know, like,
Nickname Killbot.
they, like, kind of trust him because he's your neighbor, but maybe, like, don't. I mean, maybe he didn't think Kubat would do anything with that info. That's probably what happened. Is
Yeah.
like, why would Kubat care that they're at the carnival? Every kid's at the carnival. But uh-oh, Ted just like fucked up their plans. So then the kids wonder how they're gonna get to the factory. And like, oh, Buzzy can drive us. She's working at the carnival. Oh, but we need costumes to get to the carnival. We'll have to improvise because our costumes are back home. So they get quick costumes, which are kind of lame. But Harold gets a costume too, which I thought was funny. And they're like, yeah, he's the Invisible
Yeah,
Man.
he's dressed as the Invisible Man. Yeah, so like they're gonna be looking for a mummy. They're not
Yeah.
gonna be looking for an Invisible Man.
He has like a trench coat and the
Yeah,
hat and glasses.
it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So at the carnival, everyone's in costume and there's like a big skeleton guy, and I thought that one was pretty sick.
Mhm.
There's also Zed and Addison. Holy crap. And Harold is scared a little. And Todd is like, what are you guys supposed to be? Losers? And like, what are you even, Todd? And he like has a big
He's a
cereal
full
bowl
cereal.
and he has a knife and he says, I'm a serial killer. Duh.
I'm Todd.
I actually really like
It's
that costume.
It's a good costume.
And then Todd pushes Marshall, just pushes him because he's a
Yeah.
bully. And so Harold roars at him, and Todd falls into a cake.
Yeah. Did we mention earlier that like the backstory of the bully was Marshall pushed Todd into a cake on his third grade
Birthday.
birthday party?
I did not mention that, but this time Marshall's like, wasn't my fault.
This one's your fault, dude.
So then they
Why
get.
do they have cake at a Halloween party?
It's that weird.
I feel like it's such a candy holiday.
It is, that's true. But like when you're having a party, you can have other desserts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't- it's kind of weird it's at a carnival,
Yeah.
actually. But whatever. They get to the haunted house part, but they're forced to wait in the line. So it's like Amy and Marshall wait in line while Gilbert goes off with Harold.
Yeah, Gilbert's watching Harold. Meanwhile, Amy and Marshall are finding Bussy. Yeah.
Yeah. Gilbert gets mesmerized by the purple-eyed panda. So he's like, come on, Harold, it's showtime. And they do the ring toss, but Gilbert keeps missing and he buys more tickets. So Harold's like, let me try. And he throws the little ring and he breaks the bottles.
See, it's like all these little bits that they do. I'm like, that's kind of funny. Where he just absolutely shatters all these with this plastic ring.
Yeah, that is
He
pretty
threw it
good.
that hard.
And then Marshall and Amy finally make it into the haunted house, and it's like a pretty cool haunted house. It's fun. It's
very detailed. I don't know how they fit it all in this like school area.
It's the kind of haunted house I like, where it's like themed and whimsy, like just fun costumes, and not just like the scariest masks and people yelling at you.
There's this one guy who keeps dressing up as a vampire who like 5 times is trying to scare someone in this movie and no one cares.
Well, he keeps making like blood puns and vampire puns, and everyone's like, "You're not."
Even
scared.
Gilbert is like, "Dude, I didn't." Think
Yeah,
that was
even
bad."
I'm not scared. Yeah, this poor vampire guy. Anyway, Harold sees someone dressed up as Cleopatra, and it's actually the Egyptian teacher. And so he goes over to riz her up, obvious, which just happened in the first one. Which I don't know if you remember. I was looking back at the notes. It's like a woman dressed as Cleopatra, and she's like, "Yeah, let's dance." And then someone comes up and is like, "That's my man." And it's like, "Doesn't look like your man." It's like this whole like little subplot. That was funny. That doesn't
This
happen.
movie is way more unhinged than this movie.
Yeah.
But this is the whole reason that I think a choreographer was cast as Harold.
Because he dances.
Because this just turns into a big dancing.
It's really fun. Harold and the teacher start dancing to Calling All the Monsters by China and McClain. And they dance together. It's fun.
Yeah, and it's like intensive dancing. He
It
gets on
is.
like his hands at one
He
point.
like break dances
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah. So back in the haunted house, they ask the vampire guy where Buzzy is, and he's like, she's over there. So then Kubat shows up to the carnival with the goons, and they're like, you need a costume to get in. And he's like, we're dressed as a dealer of stolen antiques. She's like, fine, $5. Like, that shouldn't slide, but whatever. I don't know why do you need a costume though to get into this carnival? For fun.
Yeah, make sure everyone's in the right spirit.
Yeah. Then back to Harold and Miss Pratt dancing. They're killing it. Harold goes solo in the dance circle. Slay. And then the goons see a mummy and grab it, but it's just a guy dressed as a mummy.
Oh, there's a lot of mummies.
I feel like mummy isn't that actually common of a costume.
Here's the thing. Something that Halloween movies never show anymore is all of the classic costumes are basically dead. No one really goes as
Yeah.
ghost. No one goes as witch. No one goes as,
Vampire.
yeah. Out of those, I would actually say I've seen the mummy the most.
Interesting.
Because I've seen multiple people go as a mummy.
Huh. I haven't.
Because it's so easy to do. You just take a couple rolls of toilet paper and wrap it around yourself.
That's true.
It's a backup costume typically.
Yeah.
But all of that said, like every movie that has a Halloween thing, they don't want to show all the pop culture costumes because if they're going for either a mystical, horror, or whimsical like area, you don't want the pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
And B, they usually don't have the rights to the pop culture stuff.
Right.
That's why I thought it was fun that they added Zed and Addison.
Yeah, it was really cute. Like if they're gonna do pop culture stuff, make it Disney Channel. Yeah. So they split up and look for the mummy with the amulet. Because they know the one that they're looking for has a special amulet, so that makes sense. Back in the haunted house, they finally find Buzzy. Then like the goons look at all the mummies. Harold is still dancing, and Zed, the guy dressed up as Zed, starts to film Harold. And then actually, a lot of people start filming Harold as he dances. He's going really hard. Gilbert sees the goons right as they spot Harold, like it happens at the same time. So he takes Harold and he runs into the haunted house. Line be damned. They're like, you can't skip the line. And then the goons also skip the line. They're like, what the hell? Both Gilbert and Harold are scared.
Yeah, if I was waiting in that line, I'd be pissed.
I'd be so pissed. They reach Buzzy and they all run for it. And then they come face to face with the goons. So Kubat shows up and just takes the amulet off Harold. This is how they best him.
Yeah.
It's not like they man him. They
outsmart him.
Yeah. He takes the amulet off and Harold goes blank and falls.
They were very lucky that that's how it worked. He says I knew my ancient Egyptian history.
The amulet giveth and taketh away. So the goons haul Harold away, and Kubat tells the kids, forget this ever happened.
What's good for you? Forget that this ever happened.
How can we forget? Harold's our friend. We have to help him. Marshall's like, I failed him. There's nothing else you could have done.
We have to help him. He's our friend.
Yeah.
So we all decide, yes, the four of us alone are going to go raid this old factory.
Yes, we're going to go save him. And Gilbert's like, I don't know. And they're like, well, Gilbert's in. Let's all go. We're all in. So Buzzy drives him to the old factory. And, okay. They're like, we don't know where this factory is. Ted just said it was on this highway. And they're like, well, this highway's 30 miles long. So Amy's like, hold on. Let me see your phone. Boop, boop, boop. Googles the factory. Looks like it's on this street. And they're like, oh my God, Amy, you're so smart.
You're such an investigative journalist.
Literally, why wasn't she Google mapping to the factory?
They don't have phones.
Buzzy has a phone.
But Buzzy might just be stupid.
Buzzy's just stupid. Yeah. So Amy Googles something and everyone's like, that's incredible. This is 2021.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's way too late for this plot point.
Amy's like, see, this is why I should have a phone. So then the goons get to the factory. Miss I Eat Octopuses for Fun shows up. The kids plan to sneak in and create a diversion. It's so dumb. Marshall's like, here's my plan. We go in, we create a diversion, we get Harold, and we leave.
Brilliant plan.
It's not even a plan.
No, it's not. And Amy at one point's like, well, maybe if it will work, we can distract them, which is just part of the plan.
Maybe he's onto something. It's like, okay, yeah. How are we going to distract them? And once they're distracted, how do you get Harold? It's so dumb. This is not a plan. They're like, it can work. Yeah, actually, Gilbert says, cool, great plan. Except for all of it, we're 12. How are we going to do that?
Yeah. Crazy.
He's like, I'm still working on the details. Buzzy's like, I have a ton of stuff in the back, actually, left over from the haunted house, smoke and,
sound machines. And squirt guns.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, cool, maybe we can use that. Miss Octopus Lady sees the coffin, but Harold isn't inside. She's like, no mummy, no deal, remember? And Kubat's like, Oh, yes. How silly of me. Come this way. And he shows her Harold all chained up to a pole. And he's like, turns out this mummy is way more valuable than we agreed on. And she's like, fuck off, we had a deal. And he's like, we did have a deal for a dead mummy. What other kind of mummy is there? And then he puts the amulet back on Harold and he comes to life and he roars.
Notably,
Roar.
we know Harold is strong enough to break through these chains.
We do.
So why doesn't he do it?
I don't know. He doesn't give a lot of time to do it because
It is quick, but like still.
he takes the amulet off again. But Miss Octopus goes, "This is incredible." And he takes the amulet off, and she's like, "All right, let's negotiate."
She's like, "Okay, I understand. You need a higher price now."
Yeah. So Kubat just hangs the amulet like right next to Harold, which is pretty dumb.
Kubat knows that this only lasts for 3 days.
No, I don't
he
think
said
he
he
does.
knew that taking the amulet off would turn him off.
Yeah,
He acts like he's pretty
he
well
knew
versed
that.
in this.
He knew it had something to do with the amulet. Maybe he does know, but
That's what I'm like. That might be why he's trying to get this deal done immediately, rather than trying.
He
to,
could
like,
just put Harold back in the coffin. We know that he can come back to life again because it happens in the second one.
That's
So,
true.
like, how many times can you just put him back in his coffin and take him out again?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, the kids make it to the factory. Gilbert's like, I can't do it. I'm too scared. And they're like, what about Harold? He's our friend.
Friends have each other's backs.
He says, friends don't get each other killed, Marshall. I'm sorry, but I'm out of here.
Gilbert's fully in the right here. This plan is really dumb
Stupid.
and could lead to their death. But the movie's going to tell us the moral of Gilbert's wrong here.
Yeah. Marshall says, fine, go home, Gilbert. We don't need you anyway. So he leaves. And look back at my notes of the first movie. Gilbert says, I'm too scared, I can't do it. And Marshall and Amy are like, it's okay. You can wait in the car, like, we understand. Like, they were really nice to him about it, actually. But this one, they're like, fine, leave. We don't need you. So the rest sneak into the factory. They see Harold and the amulet. And like, okay, let's distract the guards and get the amulet back. Gilbert goes up to an owl and he's like, you don't even scare me anymore. I've seen way scarier stuff now. I'm tired of hearing face your fears from everyone. And the owl's like, ooh. He says, from Marshall. He's always on my back. And Gilbert just basically talks himself into going back and facing his fears.
Yeah.
Thanks to the owl.
Thanks to the owl.
So then they use the haunted house stuff to distract the guards. Buzzy's dressed like a wolf again, blah blah. Amy shoots webs at a lady guard, and it's kind of goop. It's goop.
It's goop. It's definitively goop.
It's like silly string.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, there's a lady guard that only appears in this factory. She's cool. Hooray for lady guards.
Hooray for lady goons.
Yeah, lady goons. Marshall goes to put the amulet back on Harold, but he's stopped by Kuba, and the other two are brought in.
I feel like we're not giving this enough distaste for how stupid this scene has been.
Yeah.
All we saw for them after we get Gilbert's like comeback speech, is all like Buzzy and Amy.
Yeah.
They go and do their distraction to a T perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfectly distracted.
Yeah.
Also, Kubat and Ravensworth are in a different room negotiating, and the amulet's right there. How does this lead into Marshall touching the amulet but getting caught in time and everyone else getting caught immediately? They really had no plan.
Yeah, which I'm glad it didn't work because it was not a plan.
It was stupid.
They're like, where's the other kid? And like, he told the adults and they're coming for you. And Kubat's like, I doubt that.
What, you say there's a live mummy here?
Mm-hmm. Marshall pleads, like, please put him back in his coffin so he doesn't turn to dust. And Miss Ravensworth, Miss Octopus Lady, is like, is that true? Like, maybe we should.
Why I'm like, I think he knows and was just trying to get the deal done.
But, and then Gilbert shows up above them, and they're like, whoa, Gilbert, get the amulet, Gil, you got this. So he swings on a rope. This is crazy. Grabs an amulet and lands in some boxes. And the goons, like, go to surround Gilbert, which means Marshall, Amy, and Buzzy are just not being held up by anyone
right now.
And they're not doing anything to help.
They're just
like,
standing there.
You got this, Gilbert. It's so dumb. But Marshall's like, Gilbert, want to win something cooler than the purple-eyed panda? Insinuating that he should throw the amulet on Harold.
Harold's neck.
And Gilbert's like, but didn't have much luck today. And he's like, no, you got this. So he throws the amulet.
Unhinged that this works.
It does. It loops right around Harold's neck. It absolutely should not have worked. It just loops around his neck. How'd that work? And so then Harold wakes up and he breaks the chains so easy this time. Just pop, they come right off.
He just flexes and they blow up.
And he fights the goons. And by fights, I mean he fucking kills them. One punch, and the goon goes flying into a brick wall.
All three of these goons are dead.
They're dead.
We told that, but they are.
There's no way they survived that. At the very least, they have broken so many bones.
Yeah.
My God. Marshall then, I wrote, kills Kubat. Oh, yeah, because a giant flying skull just takes out Kubat and his octopus.
Instead of rushing to the amulet and getting Harold out, set this up, trap up
How did
first.
set that up?
I don't know.
But no way they survived either.
No, they're all dead.
And then they hug Harold. So they tied all the goons up. I guess they're not dead, whatever. And they call the cops. And they're like, Gilbert, why'd you come back? And he said, I was more scared of losing you than those guys. Like, cool, let's get Harold back to the museum. Oh my God, no, the coffin was destroyed.
Oh,
it's
gonna go to dust.
It is kind of silly, but like it makes sense because we don't want to show them hauling a coffin into the museum. Like, it's better if they just run in.
Yeah.
So they're like, what do we do? And Amy's like, remember that coffin that you guys posed for the picture?
And flashback to Mummy!
Mummy!
We're doing peace signs. I realize that doesn't translate.
Yeah, it's funny. And they're like, okay, yeah, maybe it'll work. So we only have 28 minutes. Let's go. Okay, so they make it back to the museum.
Oh, no, it's locked because it's a museum. But Harold just punches the glass and they go through.
Yep, that works.
There's the alarm's going off. It means nothing. They will get out before the alert.
I know, Buzzy says, I'll stay at the door and distract the authorities when they get here, which is a good plan. But they make it out before the authorities even
It's just an excuse to get her out of the scene.
Yeah. So they grab the other coffin. They're like, Harold, get in. But first he's like, no, I have to bring my girlfriend into the moonlight so she comes to life. So she wakes up and they're reunited.
And now she's going to be awake for 3 days.
No, because she just stays in the coffin until you go back to sleep. And they're like, look how happy he is. People who make each other happy should be together, says Amy. And Marshall's like,
don't you get what I mean, Marshall?
Then Marshall's like, please, Harold, go in the coffin so you don't turn to dust. And Amy's like, I'll never call this town boring again. And I'll never forget you, Harold. And then they do the little hand pet thing that they did when they first met. Aw. And then Gilbert says goodbye. He says, you're the not scariest guy I've ever met.
Honestly, Gilbert had very little relationship with.
Hey, remember when they did the ring toss and the dance party? True. Yeah, they had a moment. And then Marshall says goodbye. He says, I always thought it would be cool to see a real-life monster, and I was right.
Icon.
But goodbye, Harold. Like, Marshall. And we'll talk more about Marshall in the second movie.
The second movie, Marshall has one of potentially my favorite DCOM line. If we're being
we say it a lot, but this is like just a little taste of kind of what Marshall's
kind of
like.
What he's gonna turn into.
Like, I always thought it'd be cool to meet a monster, and I was right.
That one Under Wraps 2 line is like so good. I use it all the time.
We'll talk about it next movie. But yeah, Harold gets in his coffin, and Marshall's like, wait, here's some hot sauce.
And there's just hot sauce in sarcophagus now.
And then the sarcophaguses magically close on top of the coffins. And they're like, whoa.
Crazy. So the kids just run out of the museum.
And the cops never showed up.
No, they show up like seconds after they leave.
Seconds after they leave, the cops...
Really delayed response there.
Cops in this town suck. And the security at this museum sucks.
I mean, it was very obvious to these kids that Kubat was the one who stole the mummy.
Yeah.
The cops didn't figure it out. Maybe they're all just corrupt.
Yeah, so the next day, Marshall's watching the news, and they're like, this just in. The mummy that was mysteriously like stolen just mysteriously appeared at the museum with hot sauce. And also, Kubat was arrested for stealing the mummy in the first place. And they're like, so they believe that Kubat stole the mummy.
Well, I think they found other stolen goods. He wasn't, he was a
Yeah.
stolen dealer.
That's true. But like, they're also like, but somehow the mummy was returned. And they just don't know how that happened. But like, I guess what's done is done. At least we have it back. Yeah. And we also see the TV remote is still on the ceiling. And then also on the news, unrelated, Harold, there's this mummy dance that's going viral and it's Harold dancing. And they're like, but no one knows who he is. Crazy. And then Marshall goes and answers the door to Ted. And he's like, hey, Ted. Like, he's way more friendly
he
now.
He changed immediately.
He did. And they mentioned that the bird seed was delivered. Haha. And Ted brought over a bunch of pastries.
3 dozen pastries.
He's like, I got one of each. And Marshall's like, hey, Ted, you want to help us with the next movie about a vampire? And it's like, yeah, cool. Awesome. They're getting along now. And Mom's like, why the change with Ted? And Marshall's like, he makes you happy, right? Yeah. Well, people who make each other happy should be together. I love you. Bye. And like, the last one, he was so dramatic. He's like, people who belong together should get married. Like, it was so. And the mom was so nonchalant in the first one. So, yeah. Anyway, then the remote falls from the ceiling, still covered in honey.
Yeah. Remember that? That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I mean, honey's not that sticky.
No.
All right. And then we basically get the conclusion.
Yeah. So at school, Amy tells the boys that she's now the new school newspaper reporter. And she's gave them all the inside scoop on the mummy story, and they're like, what inside story? And she's like, yep, the whole thing. Well, except the part where he came to life and we turned in Kubat. I'm saving that for my autobiography. And I'm like, okay, so what did you tell them then?
Just good details of Kubat being an evil.
I guess the fact that they were involved, she left that out. But like, he stole the mummy. Yeah. Anyway, Marshall says, well, at least you'll have something to do before moving back. And Amy's like, well, if I hadn't moved here, I wouldn't have met a mummy. Or you guys. So I think I'm going to stick around.
Oh my gosh, he's staying.
Yay. So what do you do for fun when there's not a mummy? And Gilbert's like,
y'all want to go see Warhead?
Want to go see Warhead? And they're like, what? You want to see Warhead? And he's like, yeah, now that I've helped with the mummy, I'm not scared anymore. The end. Except for the little ending scene, actually, in the museum. Harold lifts up the coffin and puts out a card that says, the end.
The end.
And then in the credits, it goes, pop them bones, pop them bones, pop them bones.
That's the like spooky, scary skeletons off song.
I kind of vibe with it.
It was pretty fun.
Pop them bones, pop them bones. And that is the reboot of Under Wraps.
It's fine.
It's fine. I think for me, it's a little better than the original just because I enjoy the modern movie more.
My take on it here is...
Oh, maybe not.
The original Under Wraps has much higher highs and lower lows.
Exactly.
It's more boring and irritating.
This movie's more consistent.
This movie's like, it's got its classic DCOM cringe, but otherwise it's a very consistent movie.
I did just remember that Leonard's in the first one.
Leonard's in the first one.
And that was incredible.
Also, that opening scene in the first one is just a fantastic scene.
And he pulls a gun on children in the first one.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
And I like the fake your death plot line that Kubat has in the first one as well. I found that more intriguing. It was more of a mystery thing.
But as you mentioned, there's so much mummy noises, so much nothing going on for too much of the process. So, I slightly prefer the remake, but it's much more like... I think the old one maybe has more value, because even though it's got worse stuff to it, its moments shine brighter.
It's vintage, too.
Yeah.
You know? But, I don't know, they're pretty similar to me. I think I just don't care that much about either of them, truthfully. But, oh my gosh, looking back at our rankings for this movie is crazy.
We really hated this for some reason.
I know, and I don't know why.
Yeah, Jane Cow's final rank was 95.
95. You had an 88, and I have 99.
Why did you hate it so
much? I hate this movie so much. I just really did, apparently. It's in my F tier. And I have the original Under Wraps 2 spots even below that. So I just really hated these movies. I don't think they're that bad, actually. Now rewatching all of them, like, I do want to re-rank. Once we're done with watching all these movies for the podcast, I do want to re-rank them because I feel like I have a better grasp on all the movies now that we've gone like super in depth with them. This movie isn't that bad. It is not an F tier movie. I could do like high D tier just because I don't really care about it that much, but it's
I
not
could see
bad.
low C. That's kind
Or
of
low
where my
C.
brain puts it at
Yeah,
this point.
it's fine.
It's so passable.
It's not like super interesting. I'm not gonna go back to this one. I'm excited to talk about Under Wraps too because there's like
Interact 2 is more memorable.
there's more stuff.
That's
At least I think so. I know there's like the one line that we love. I'm hoping that the rest of the movie was better too.
I
I
think
think
it
it is.
was. I feel like we
I do.
liked it more.
Yeah, we definitely ranked it higher. Even though it was technically like after our marathon, like we had all moved out of the house at that point, but we did watch it together. At least a lot of us did. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's Under Wraps 2021, the new Under Wraps. Excited to talk about the second one whenever we roll that. But now we gotta roll the wheel for our next decom.
Yeah. Xenon Z3.
Oh, okay, that's your prediction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Christmas again, and we'll just stick with the recent ones.
Cool.
All right, let's spin the wheel. Huh, huh. It's sequel city up in here. I guess this wasn't a sequel. It was a remake, but whatever. It's finally time for Jumping Ship.
Jumping ship.
Let's go. That is the sequel to Horse Sense. You wouldn't know it by the way it's titled,
You wouldn't know by the way I dress.
but this is actually a sequel to Horse Sense.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch this one because I remember we liked this more than Horse Sense, and it's like the plots are so different. They're not riding horses
It
anymore.
was entirely, I feel like they cast the brothers,
Yeah,
again, the
the
Lawrence
Lawrence
brothers, and
brothers.
they just said, what if we just made it a sequel?
It's like it's so different than the first one, but it's like a fun little action movie with the
But it's
Lawrence
also
brothers.
stupid.
It is. But I don't I'm excited. I feel like I don't remember a ton about
I
it.
also don't remember it that well, but it's decently high on our rankings, so we'll see.
So I'm excited to revisit it and see how we feel about it now.
All right, so tune in 2 weeks for that.
Yeah, tune in 2 weeks for Jumping Ship. Goodbye.
Bye.
Scenes from our next episode. Oh, is that the gay cowboy from the first movie?
Wait, he's now their like boat leader. Oh, I sure hope their boat doesn't get shipwrecked and they have to jumping ship.
Oh my god, they're both got shipwrecked and they have to jumping ship now.
Wow, I think Survivor really took a toll on society.
I can't believe this hot, like, sailor is outshining me to my little cousin. I'm so
Man,
jealous.
this life or death moment is really teaching me a lot about how to respect my stepdad.
Is that what happened?
Pretty sure.
You're probably right.
Well, who actually remembers?
Yeah.
This is the sequel to Horse Sense.
Oh my god, is this the last Andrew Lawrence movie?
Yeah.
That's so sad.
We have the new DCOM king now.
Oh, rest in peace, Andrew Lawrence. He's not dead. He's just not the decom kick
Imagine
anymore.
Andrew Lawrence and Malachi Parton in the same DCOM.